Okay, so when you mentioned at the beginning of the process, do you want to talk at all about the gap assessment?
Yeah, we can definitely do that. And so I keep on wanting to go back to the subject line that talks about how to pay less. And let me kind of tell you what the opposite is. The opposite is you go and you hire a company and they do really great marketing. And then you find out later on that, you know what, if they knew more about your company and your goals and your vision and where you were going, they would have crafted their message differently. So now they're 9 months in, they're learning more about the company. Now they have to go back and they have to redevelop the marketing materials to fit that bigger vision. Right. And so what happens here is that we're so anxious to get results in 90 days that we don't measure one, I think the expression is like measure twice and cut once. You know what I mean? I want to be in a scenario here where we took a lot of time up front to know everything about how to scale your business by 3 to 5, maybe 5 to 10x. I want to know all that stuff up front. And so we developed what's called a gap assessment. And let me kind of walk you through what a gap assessment sort of looks like here. I'm just going to try to get to the right slide before I start. So in that process, when I'm looking at a gap assessment, there we go. When I'm looking at a gap assessment, what we do is we develop this book, and the book is not for the faint of heart. I mean, it's pretty thick. It's got a bunch of tabs. It looks like a phone book. But what it is your 3 to 5 year roadmap that they're going to find your gaps, your opportunities, where to grow, and how to figure out what ROI looks like. In that process, I'm also going to develop a scorecard. And you can kind of help me unpack the scorecard here. But essentially what we're looking at here is where are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, but what are your priorities? And over the 3 to 5 years, I want to get everything that's red, I want to get that to green. Because what's going to happen here is that's going to allow us to figure out your outbound campaigns. I'm going to be able to see your competition. I'm going to be able to see your SEO and marketing penetration values, be able to compare you versus your competitors. I'm going to be able to cherry pick what keywords your competitors are using and basically try to buy them or SEO optimize for them on pennies on the dollar. And I'm going to be able to show your ROI month over month and year over year. But the main thing I'm trying to do is outline and give you the priorities of what we need to do in the next 3 years to build this system so that you systematically generate leads, nurture leads, and convert leads into clients.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love the gap assessment, and I think it really helps clients to, when you think about like starting a new marketing strategy, there's 2 ways to look at it. You could look at one thing at a time and fix one thing at a time, and hopefully it's the right thing. Or you can come to a company like ours who will look at literally the entire marketing picture, including like doing the market research that you don't even have time to like think about. And when you look at the whole picture, just like the scorecard shows, it prioritizes things because you don't have to fix every single thing at the same time. But as long as you're able to see the full picture and then hone in on those things that are going to be the highest return, the fastest, or are your biggest gaps really, you start with those and then you move through the rest of that scorecard over time, and you end up with that system that you want that is just going to keep churning out good leads and really, really happy customers.
Yep. And that's the plan, that's the vision, and that's the goal.